Hey y'all, welcome back to Dishing It with D. Now I know everybody has heard about what's been going on down at the Potomac, okay? Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie and those fraudulent charges they have been accused of. Now all of this is alleged, but I did a little small piece on it. It was a real quick, short, like a minute when I heard the news, but I did not know all the details at the time. But now we know the details and we're going to talk about it. That's what we do, because that's what we do. We dish about it, okay? So I got a hold of the press conference. I've listened to it. I want us to take a listen to it, and we're going to come back and then we're going to dish a little bit about it. We're going to take some pauses and some breaks, but we're going to talk about it, okay? Because that's what we do.
Of Wendy and Edward Osefo of the 1900 block of Turnberry Court in Finksburg, Maryland. Both Wendy and Edward are reality actors in the series The Real Housewives of Potomac, Maryland, which is filmed partially from their residence in Finksburg, Maryland, an hour away. On April 7, 2024, at approximately 10:13 p.m., deputies responded to a residence in the 1900 block of Turnberry Court in Finksburg for a reported burglary. Edward Osefo called 911 to report the burglary. Edward and Wendy Osefo, both from Finksburg, live at that address, and they have 3 school-aged children. They reported that their home had been burglarized sometime between April 2nd and April 7th of 2024 while they were on vacation in Jamaica. The house would have been vacant at the time with no one's house sitting. No one had a key to the residence, according to the Osefos. The Osefos claimed that designer handbags and jewelry valued at more than $200,000 were missing from the primary residence bedroom upstairs. Responding patrol deputies handled the burglary according to policy and made contact with investigators with my major crimes unit to assist because of the dollar amount that was stolen. Crime scene investigators came to the scene the night of the report to process the scene for fingerprints, DNA, and anything of evidentiary value. And while I'm there, I want to thank the state police. They actually responded, and the superintendent of the state police, Colonel Butler, I want to thank him for working with us on the case and providing resources. It should be noted that the residence does have interior and exterior surveillance cameras. None of the cameras picked up any motion or indicated a breach inside of the house. Cameras also did not pick up any suspicious activity outside of the residence during the time the Osefos were away from the residence. Detectives also checked surveillance cameras from neighbors. No evidence of a break-in or suspicious activity was noted at the Osefos' residence. Patrol deputies and detectives found no signs of forced entry or physical evidence of a burglary, such as footprints, fingerprints, or any entry point. The Osefos alleged that the burglar came in through a second-story window into the master bedroom. There was no evidence inside the residence that someone made an attempt to get into the residence through that particular window. No evidence indicated that anyone attempted to enter the house. The bedroom upstairs where the theft occurred was ransacked. The mattress was thrown off of the bed onto the floor to give an indication that a burglary did occur. Initial responding deputies again called our investigators because of the high dollar amount that was stolen. After the initial report, following days, we made contact with 3 separate insurance companies that the Osefos used to insure their property, which is common with this loss this type of loss that detectives actually communicate with insurance companies to share information. In the days following the initial report, the Osefos contacted the detective several times to provide additional information about the alleged burglary, evidence, and missing items. They also reported the loss to their insurance company. Again, the Osefos alleged and claimed that just over $200,000 in items were stolen.
Now we heard the charges from the sheriff at the press conference. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's dish about it. Oh my gosh. Dr. Wendy Osefo, you got 4 degrees, because you constantly remind us on RHOP that you have 4 degrees. But now you got 4 degrees and a mugshot. Okay? I mean, the things that they are talking about that you all did and how y'all did this, I don't know. Are those degrees from EDC? What is it? EDC? Child, I can't even remember. ECDC College that Romeo used to push on us on the TV? Because, I mean, this is just kind of like common sense. You would think. Let's break it down. Okay, they said that they alleged that their home was burglarized back in April of 2024 when they was on vacation in Jamaica. Now they said these people the crooks scaled up their bedroom, primary bedroom, which is on the second floor, through a bathroom window and came in and stole, like, I don't know. They said in a mass of $400,000 worth of stuff. Okay. Oh my goodness. Don't that make y'all think? I mean, if you got that kind of stuff laying around, don't you have it in safe? First of all, you didn't take your wedding band. I think they said that's what the primary thing was. You don't take that with you on vacation. Or do you have a cheaper version of that you wear out in the public, you know, when you're not going and razzle-dazzling with your other Real Housewives of Potomac friends and your to-do friends or what have you? Well, if you don't, like Kim Kardashian, them, they have like, you know, like cheap, like zirconium versions of it or whatever that they wear out. And they have the real one, you know, locked up somewhere. But I guess, you know, Kim got her stuff stolen in Paris, so I guess you can get your stuff stolen in Maryland, okay? But I would think that they would have it locked up in a safe or something. You know what I'm saying? Now, did they try to take the whole safe out the house? You know, I don't know. But anyways, and your husband is a lawyer, or was he? Or at least he got I don't know if he's practicing law. He has a law degree, but I don't know. Or was he like what Tyler Perry said, like Medea said, was he a liar? You know, a liar. Because they lie. They lie. Not a lawyer, but a liar. Okay? I don't know. But it's just the things that make you go, Like, you got 4 degrees, Dr. Wendy, worked at Johns Hopkins University, and your husband is a lawyer. And y'all didn't think that this whole insurance fraud was going to... this insurance claim was fraudulent. Now that's assuming that you did. Assuming that you did. But y'all didn't think that. It's just things that make you go, about y'all so-called education and level of understanding. But anyways, I just, I was like taken aback. Now who would try to file multiple claims to 3 different insurance companies? 3. But anyways, let's keep listening and let's keep dishing about it.
Evidence of missing items. They also reported the loss to their insurance company. Again, the Osefos alleged and claimed that just over $200,000 in items were stolen from the burglary. Weeks after the alleged burglary, detectives discovered Mrs. Osefo had posted photos on social media wearing jewelry that matched items she had reported stolen, specifically a diamond anniversary band. Detectives were provided receipts by the Osefos for the loss of items that they had purchased dating as far back as 2018. On those receipts were email addresses. We had become suspicious that this was a false claim. On those receipts were email addresses, which detectives authored search and seizure warrants that they could access both the Osefos' email accounts to attempt to acquire more evidence. The emails provided additional evidence that indicated this was a fraudulent claim, specifically Edward's communication with Wendy, and I quote, "Are there additional high-value items we can add to this inventory list? I'm trying to get the total to exceed $423,000, which is our policy maximum." Over the next several months, detectives worked diligently to verify the information provided and to locate the reported stolen property. It was later confirmed that Mrs. Osefo had returned several of those same items valued at over $20,000 to the place that she originally purchased prior to the alleged burglary. We can see as far back as 2018 and several items that had been purchased in 18 and receipts supplied to the insurance company, only those items had been returned to the purchaser or to the store that she purchased them from during the window in 2018 of the return policy. Meaning if it was a 90-day return policy back in 2018, she actually returned those items within that 90-day period. Those receipts were supplied to us, and those receipts were supplied to her insurance company and were alleged by the Osefos to be stolen in the original burglary. Based on a thorough investigation conducted by detectives in my office in coordination with the Carroll County State's Attorney's Office, it became clear that the Osefos had fabricated the burglary and filed a false report and attempted to fraud their insurance company. On October 29th, 2025, the case was presented to a Carroll County grand jury, which returned indictments against both Edward and Wendy Osefo on multiple counts of fraud and false reporting. Both individuals were located and taken into custody at their Turnberry Court address on the afternoon of October 9th, yesterday, by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office detectives. Deputies executed a search and seizure warrant at the residence during the arrest. An additional 15 items that were believed to be reported stolen by the Osefos during the initial report were also located during that search and seizure warrant. Those items included jewelry and high-end handbags. The Osefos were booked into the Carroll County Detention Center and later released on $50,000 bonds, or with $50,000 bond. Real quick, I'd like to acknowledge the
Okay. Whew, this is a lot to take in. A lot, okay? I had to make some notes when I was listening to it. I hope y'all did too. But the things that grabbed me, okay. First of all, they said that the robber or robbers took over $200,000 worth of designer handbags. That means she had a Gucci, she had a Louis, she had a XL, she had, I don't know. She didn't have the things I have in my closet, but $200,000. Armani, I don't know. I don't even know all the brands, but the girl had the brands. And they took them all. They just came in and they said, they wrapped, they just, hey, designer heaven. How did they get back out of the bathroom window that they climbed in? Did they go back out downstairs? Did they bring garbage bags to put all this shit in? I don't know. But that's what they said. They said that they took over $200,000 worth of handbags, designer handbags, okay? And the next thing they said was, there's so many things here that just make me doubt these people's level of education and understanding. They tried to file, well, before I go there, the detective or the sheriff said they had interior cameras, they had exterior cameras. And on those cameras, they detected nothing. They picked up nothing. Did they turn them off when they went on vacation? Did they malfunction? Because you know what? You got cameras in your house, exterior and interior cameras. If there's a motion detected that's not there, and they said nobody else had a key but them, so that means somebody's coming in their home. Wouldn't they've gotten a notification on their phone? That stuff goes instantly to your phone, to your watches, your smart watches. They would have got a notification. Okay, but anywho, let's keep going. They tried to file multiple claims, not with one insurance company, but 3 insurance companies for the same items. They said they stole over 57 different items. Okay. Now, apparently, even with this large number of items that was supposed allegedly stolen from their home, Eddie, her husband, the lawyer, didn't think that was enough, because he said he sent his wife Dr. Wendy Osefo an email saying, look, babe, here's the inventory list that we have thus far that we're going to file this claim on, okay? Or claims. But you know what? It ain't enough. Can you add a few more items? Can you just add a few more items? Just a few more items, okay? Just add a few more items. Because we need to get it to the maximum, which is $423,000. So we want to file for the maximum claim. Red light, red flags. Should that have been like, you filing for the maximum? Don't you know these people, these insurance companies don't want to give us no money, no way. They just want to take your money. They don't want to pay no claims. And if you file too many claims, they drop you. You're uninsurable. So don't you know they not going to just give that money out? Let me write you a check for $423,000 without doing a deep dive investigation. You better have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Wendy, where did y'all get these degrees from? Now, I ain't going to say nothing about no online degree, because I got an online degree myself for my master's program. But you know what? Like I said before, did you go to EDC college or whatever, EDEC college that Romeo and his daddy was pushing? I mean, come on. Where's your level of understanding? Okay, so I digress. Let me get back. This is so much, okay? Because this chick is always floating and talking about her 4 degrees on the RHOP, and they may be a fraud too. I want to see pull the degrees. I want to see the degrees now, because I'm questioning everything now. But anyway, like I said, Eddie said we got to reach $423,000 because that's the maximum that they will pay. That's the maximum of our claim. Okay, that's the maximum amount that we have out on all these jewelry, handbags, all these things that you have. So we need to add a few more items, because right now what you got ain't totaling it. Okay, he sent that via email. First of all, you sending an email. I guess they emailed it because they had an inventory list. They probably had a spreadsheet or whatever, all the items. But you sit up there, that's digital. When you put that out there, it's in the cloud, okay? They're going to be able to retain and grab that information. You leaving a trail. Now, you know you already, if you're being fraudulent, that's a trail right there, boo. That's a trail, okay? A digital trail. Anyways, and here's the clincher for me. Well, there's 2 clinchers. Now, this alleged incident, burglary, happened in April of 2024. And there was a list of items, as we talked about, handbags, jewelry, etc., etc. Okay? They said that list of items, among those list of items, there were a lot of items up there that had been purchased, because they had to provide the receipt. They had to provide the receipt of their purchases of these things were purchased back in 2018. So that was like 6 years ago, okay, before this alleged burglary. But they purchased them. They purchased them. And within 90 days of that purchase, now they purchased them back in 2018. Within that purchase period of 90 days, return period, they returned those items to the store, honey. They returned those items to the store. But they kept the receipt. They kept the receipt. The original receipt. Not the one that they attach to you and they give you the return receipt. Because, you know, that's say you return it. So they had the original receipt. And that's the one that they showed to the gave to the insurance company. Now, they filing claims on items that they bought and returned within 90 days. So she probably returned them things, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that whole Real Housewives of Atlanta, the whole franchise, Potomac, all of them, the Jersey girls, the Beverly Hills girls, the Orange Counties, yada, yada, yada. We all know. We've seen these. They've been around for years and years and years. 15, 16 seasons. I mean, RHOP is on their 10th season. We know the girls fake it until they make it, okay? And they usually fake it until it breaks them. You know what I'm saying? They hardly ever make it. But they have to put on these airs that they rich, fabulous, and glorious and all that, and got all this kind of money, yada, 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 yada. And she probably was buying these things and returning them. She had to go to a party or an event or something related to RHOP or whatever, so she had to look the part, so she returned them. But homegirl kept the receipts. So, but they use those receipts to file a claim on items that they don't even own. Who does that? Who does that? A lawyer? A person that has 4 degrees? Who does that? Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Okay? Then the last thing was they got a warrant. When they went to arrest them, they had a warrant to search and seizure, okay? So they could seize whatever they found that was related to these charges. They could search for anything related to this charge. And guess what? They found not 1, not 2, not 3, but they found 15 items that was on that inventory list that I told you about, that they submitted a claim to the insurance company. They found 15 of those items right there in their house. Right there in their house. That means that they were sitting on that stuff all the time. So the items that they didn't return, remember they had over 57 that they reported that was stolen. So I guess a number of them was already returned, wasn't even in their keep anyway. Okay, so they was lying about that. But then the ones that they really truly were in possession of wasn't stolen. They found them in the damn closet. They found them in the house. 15 of those items. Y'all are busted. Y'all are busted, busted, busted. Now, I don't know how they're going to get out of this. But there's one other thing. They said what made them pull all this together was the fact that Wendy, Dr. Wendy Osefo, with the 4 degrees, had the audacity, the wedding band, anniversary band or whatever that was reported missing. I think they put it in the sum of 25,000 or something like that. But that wedding band that they reported missing on April 2024 was seen on Wendy's ring finger not in episodes of Real Housewives of Potomac, but on social media posts that she put on her own Instagram or social media. And I'm assuming it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But she had the nerve to wear the same ring that she done filed a claim that somebody came in her house and stole. Make it make sense, y'all. I can't. I'm like trying to grapple my head around this, and I can't understand somebody with a sound mind and just a kind of a average level of understanding would think that that's okay. Did you get that comfortable and cavalier that you was gonna, okay, I forgot I made a claim to the insurance. They paid me money for it, and I done spent the money, and now I can put my ring back on my finger, and I can actually post and put it on social media. That stuff is out there forever. And honey, trust me and believe, the judicial system, the legal system, that's where they go and look now. That's like first place, because they know everybody posts everything on the internet. Sweetheart, that was your downfall. They got you. Now, the only thing, and I'm sitting here saying, okay, because I can't believe somebody could be that dumb. This is like a dumb criminal kind of story. You know how they used to have those stories up there, like a dumb criminal? Because you be like, that nobody can be that dumb and try to get away with something like this. But I said, well, maybe with the social media, maybe their angle is going to be, if they can prove this, they say, okay, you might post pictures that are not real time. So maybe it's an old photo that you are having a Throwback Thursday moment. It's something from years ago. So maybe the photo that they saw posted on her social media in current day might be a photo that she took yesteryear. I'm trying to help you out, Wendy. I'm trying to give you a defense if you ain't even thought of it, okay? You and your defense team. Thank you to Deborah on that one. Now, if you can show that it has a stamp on your camera somewhere that it was taken, that photo was taken, years ago, or at least before April 2024, and you just posted it because it was a throwback Thursday, okay? Maybe that's it. I don't know. But girl, there's so many other stuff here that I can't explain. I can't help you out with return receipts within 90 days of a purchase, and now you got them on a list to say that you are in possession of them or somebody stole them from your possession. Girl, I can't help. I ain't got that one for you. I can't come up with one on that one. I can't. And maybe the multi-claim insurance claim, you may not have understood the policy agreements and stuff with that. That you can't double dip or triple dip. Maybe you didn't know that and you didn't read the fine prints. Maybe you can get off on just, lack of understanding, but you got a lawyer and a lawyer's supposed to read the fine print, right? But maybe you can say something about it. Maybe you can say something about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just giving you some outs here. Maybe you can say, I didn't, I thought I could claim, I'm paying for 3 policies. Why can't I file for 3 policies? What's the point of having 3 policies then? Just have one if you can only file for 1. They said, use your own, when you're filing claims, they ask you, have you filed on another claim? They asked that question. What did you say? Did you say no? I think they did. But I guess their rationale is, I'm paying 3 premiums every month for 3 insurance companies. I should be able to file for 3 claims, okay? Maybe that's what they was thinking. So we're going to play ignorance on that. And then, like I said, with the photo posting on social media, it could be an old photo, throwback Thursday, okay? I can't help you on the items return thing. I can't. And I can't help you on, they went in the house and found 15 items. 15 items that was on the list that was stolen. I mean, what is your defense for that? I don't know. That the crook came and sneaked back in and returned it, and you didn't know that they had seen that they had put them back. I don't know. I don't know what your defense is going to be on that one. And I just don't know. I don't know. And I don't know what you're going to say about Eddie sending you an email saying, hey, add some more to this list because we need to get to 423,000. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say about that. I don't know what your defense is going to be for that. It just sounds like it sounds like to me, Wendy, you and Eddie needed money. Now, I don't know, and I don't count nobody's pockets but my own, okay? I don't know what y'all going through financially, but you know what? I'm not even going to play all of the press conference because I think we'd have heard enough. We heard what the charges were. But you know what? I just feel like I think, these people get into these reality TV shows and they get addicted to the fame and they don't have the fortune to support it. And when they don't, because too many of them are getting caught up in charges and fraudulent stuff. I mean, Teresa and her husband with the New Jersey franchise, it's just like, it's just too much. And I think there was somebody else on another one, I can't remember, that they pulled her right off, doing filming because she had done some fraudulent stuff. It's just like, Bravo ain't paying y'all enough, or, people living still beyond their means. I mean, I would think Bravo, they say, pays a good check. So you were teaching at Johns Hopkins. Your husband is a lawyer. And you're getting a Bravo check. That ain't enough. I know you got 3 kids, but, and I know it costs to live in the Potomac, but I don't know. You got to do better. Y'all got to do better. Y'all can't let this stuff go to your head. It's just, y'all got to learn to, no matter how much money you make, you got to learn to live in your means. And I know you can do the same thing being a thousandaire. Not even a millionaire, but a thousandaire. You can do the same thing, live beyond your means, but you got to be able to do the checks and balances. And you know what? It ain't nothing wrong with wearing a little Fashion Nova or Shein or whatever. Make that stuff look good. Do a little high-low. Have a little nice handbag and then have on, a low-end outfit, high-end handbag, or either have a high-end outfit on and a little low-end, go to the, regular stores and stuff and get you a Zara bag or something or whatever. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's all about how you wear it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I noticed that Wendy's wigs was getting to be a lot better looking. Her wigs and weaves was looking a whole lot better. But I didn't know that she was using fraudulent insurance claims in order to make that makeover look better. Because she was looking a whole lot better to me than the first seasons that she was up there, okay? But I thought she was just getting a bigger bag from Bravo. So I was like, okay, she now getting a bigger bag because she done proved herself worthy and whatnot, and she getting a bigger bag, but apparently that bag wasn't big enough. And she also was doing the first reboot of Wife Swap, and they done pulled that. She was supposed to be doing Wife Swap, Real Housewives Wife Swap, and they said, I think that's airing on Wednesday. They said, we pulling the plug on that one. We putting a pause on that. Okay, so ladies, y'all gotta remember what you there for. Like I said, this ain't it. This ain't it to have this kind of to be the talk of the town. And I can't wait to see if Giselle and Robin on their podcast, if they gonna talk about this, because that's what they do. They're supposed to talk about the latest tea. But what happens when your cast members or former cast members is the tea? Do you touch it? We just have to wait and see. Y'all, let's dish about it in the comments, because this one right here, I think we're going to be talking about for a minute, okay?